Hello and welcome to the France 24 Observers. The videos you're about to see were not shot by professional journalists. They were taken by observers, ordinary people around the world who tell us and show us what's going on where they are. We check their photos and videos here in Paris and send the best to you. Our first stop is in the Ivory Coast, where the new president, Alassane Ouattara, has promised to work for national reconciliation. Above all, he's vowed to respect the human rights of all of the parties involved in a long-standing power struggle. That's why, when a video like this emerged on the internet a few weeks ago, it was a real cause for concern. We go now to Abidjan in Ivory Coast with the blogger Sui Kahofi.
Many Ivorians have seen this video. It shows several high-ranking officials of the Gbagbo regime, friends of the former president, forced to do push-ups by a military officer in an Ivorian prison. You see the push-ups, and you hear the officer harangue them in harsh terms. He says they must do push-ups to pay for the crimes they allegedly committed while they were in power. I wouldn't say this video shows a torture scene, but it's definitely a scene of humiliation. The minister in charge of human rights recently visited prisons in the north of the country, where the video was shot, and reported the video does not reflect the current conditions of detention of former Gbagbo aides. According to him, the video was shot early April, in the immediate aftermath of Gbagbo's arrest. The reason so many Ivorians were upset by this video is that we have had no other information on the situation inside these prisons. Up until now, no human rights group or independent organization has been authorized to visit them.
The video you're about to see now took place right after a rap concert in New York City. Police in charge of the security there were, some say, overly zealous. Police say they did not make use of excessive force, but that's not our Observer story. We go now to Manhattan's Lower East Side with our observer, the rapper General Steele.
As people began to exit, there was something that started right in front of the club. I found out very shortly that what was going on was police had arrested one of the people that was on stage with me. I saw him on the floor getting stomped, punched, kicked by officers, and I was shocked. So I yelled out, like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? They commenced to shout out, get the F back, get out of here, you know, offer no explanation whatsoever. I noticed that across the street, someone had yelled out, Pete Rock, he got maced. So once I heard that and I realized it was beyond our control, then I began to tell people to record the incident. You know, tape this, because we're going to have to have a discourse about this. I already know it's going to be some different points of views. And I think that if it wasn't for the brave people who filmed it that night, then a lot of more people would have been abused, and they would have no way of bringing their story to light.
The Horn of Africa is currently affected by a dry spell of historic proportions. Thousands of farmers are forced to flee their dried-up villages to go to cities in search for aid, but there's not enough food and water there to go around either. Our last stop is in the Somali capital, Mogadishu, with our observer Austin Kennan, an aid worker for the NGO Concern.
What I saw there was just harrowing. We went to a number of impromptu camps that people who have been displaced by this drought have just set up in the city. And what we saw was people at the end of their tether, children and pregnant and lactating mothers. They're the most vulnerable groups in any situation like this. The children we're seeing, they're children who are 3 years old who look like they're 1 year old. There are other children who just are completely listless and they're not even able to cry. We're seeing that. We provide, first of all, to the worst affected people is we give them plastic sheeting to cover them and protect them from the rain. We also then provide them with access to food by means of food vouchers. This crisis has been a long time coming. There are three main factors involved here. There's a natural factor of the climate, the lack of rain. Another factor is the ongoing conflict in Somalia. The other third factor is the impact of high food prices.
That's it for this week. Thank you for watching. You can find more of our Observer stories on our website. You can also get our latest updates and contact our team of journalists on our Facebook page, the France 24 Observers. See you next week.